Hi, Internet people. This is Frank Rauscher again, and we're marching on with the finch. I had you mark out the feathers and the coverts and the head and the mantle, and I burned all these in on both sides so you can see exactly how they are after it's been burnt. Okay, here's the mantle, and then here's the other side. Hope I showed you both sides. Flip that around pretty fast, and we dropped it, of course, and we got it there. Now, what we're going to do now is I'm going to mark the rest of it out so we can get the primaries and the secondaries put in, and then I'll show you how to do that too. So bear with me a minute, and I'll bring the screen down and or the camera down so you can see that. So bear with me. Okay, we're back again here. So what I'm going to ask you to do is extend the center line right down the middle of the body. Make sure that that's standing out pretty good. Let me get another pencil. Maybe this will mark up a little brighter. And from the mantle, which is right here, down towards the tail, I'm going to ask you to put dots. So from the mantle, the end of it right here, down, I want to go 5/16 and put a dot. Then I want you to go 1/4 inch and put a dot. Another 1/4 inch and put another dot. Another 1/4 inch, put another dot, and one more 1/4 inch. So what you have from the mantle, 5/16. From this dot, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4 down here, okay? Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is get your ruler, get your inch mark, and line it up with that dot so that you can make a perpendicular line going across, and it's real light. You don't want to go heavy. I put one in there. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to make it 2. Then I'm going to come over with another one, and that's 3. And here's 4. And the last one, I'm just going to leave as a dot, and I'll show you why. Now, what I want to do is start building feathers. There's a grouping, and if you look at this here, well, let me turn it around this way. You'll see that this wing is crossing over this wing. The birds sort of brought their one wing in, and the other one lays on top of it. And that's what's happening right in here. This is the top, and this is the bottom. So what I want to do is start drawing these feathers in so you know where to go, okay? So let me turn this around this way so you can see it. And I'm going to give you some more measurements right up here at the mantle. We have the center line, and I want you to go out to the right about a little bit more than 1/8 inch, just a hair more. And on this side, I want you to go a little less than 1/8 inch. So the left side, where the head is turned, gets a little more than 1/8, and this side gets a little less. And you put a dot there and a dot there. Now, what I'm also going to ask you to do is we're going to draw like an arc coming down here. And what that arc is going to represent is this grouping swinging around here. They like pull in. This one will swing this way, and this one will swing that way. So if you noticed, here's the center line coming down here. there's a little more material on this side to that wing and a little less on this side. So that's why we have differences in measurements. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to start up here at the mantle, and I'm drawing an arc that at its widest point right here is going to be about 5/16 on this left side here on this side. So it's going to come out about 5/16 and then start swinging back in. And that last 1/4 of an inch down here, we're going to stop it right there, okay? And then on this side, we're about 1/8 of an inch, give or take, about that. It's 1/8 of an inch up here, but it's a full 1/8 right about here. So what I'm doing is I'm coming out a little bit, like bowing a little bit, and then I'm pulling in, and I'm going to hit that same dot, okay? Now, that is our boundary of the wing along here and here, which is this area right here and this one right here. So I'll shade this in a little bit just so you can see that's that side and that's that side. So we're building all of this right here right now. So what I've done is I want to come out these points here, these perpendicular lines to the center line of the body is a tangent point. And what we're going to do is arc around here. So I'm going to come out and measure from the center out to what would be like the middle of the feather. And that looks like it's a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. So that would be from here to here is a little bit more than 1/4, and just a hair more. So I'm going to pick up this point up here, come down, and when I hit that point, that's going to be my radius or tangent point to this perpendicular line. And then I swing up, okay, and it's aiming out this way. Then I'm going to come down and do the same thing on this one, which is this next perpendicular line down. And then if you looked at the spacing in here, you can see the spacing here, and you can sort of get the spacing in here. It's about 1/8 of an inch from this one. So I keep the same direction, and I come back, and I join up, okay? Then I'm going to do the third one, because there's 3 major ones, 1, 2, 3, that I'm going to put in. So I'm going to do the same thing to the third one right here. And then I'm going to swing up here and join up with that one, okay? Now, there's a couple other things we want to do. We get those 3 in. You're going to do the same thing to the other side here. Everything we're doing on this side, you're just reversing it on this side. So now over here, we have these little pockets of small feathers in here. I forget the exact names of them, which I'm terrible. I should know them, because that's part of the building of the bird. I will get the names of that. I forget what they're called. And what I want to do is locate where I want you to put them in, okay? And that's these guys right here. So I want you to measure up about 5/16 from the wing up to where it touches this grouping that we haven't put in here yet. So I'm going to ask you to go up and put a dot at 5/16 straight up, like right in here. and put a dot. And then from about, let's see, I don't know if I did this correctly or not. Yeah, I did. Now, from here to here, I'm going to say pick the middle and measure down, and you got about a 1/2 inch from here to here, which is a grouping of 3 feathers. So I'm just trying to put a boundary. You got a dot here, and you got a dot. This is 5/16. From here to here is a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to come in here at this dot, and I'm coming around, and I'm drawing a feather like that. Then I'm going to have the second one come right off of that and split the difference between here and here. And then the third one goes right on out to the end. So those are the 3 you want to get in next. Okay. Then at the end of this feather, which is that way we got 1, 2, 3, which is 1, 2, 3, or we're actually on this side. I'm going to do this grouping right in here. So what I've done is I've taken a measurement again from this existing one we had, and I'm going to measure out, and I have about a 1/2 inch. So I put a mark of a 1/2 inch right there. Now, if you notice here, this is the line we're going to put in. It's this grouping right in here. So what I'm going to do is pull this down, and if you noticed, these feathers stop here, and this grouping is out about another 1/4 of an inch away from them. So if I came down a 1/4 from here and put a dot, that's what I'm aiming for. So this arc is going to come off of here and touch that. And that last feather will pull right in alongside of there. Now, what I'm going to do is a grouping of feathers that come in here. So I'm going to do something a little less than 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to peel around here. That's 1. And these are just fillers. And what I mean by that is we're going to keep all the same size, but you're going to fill it up. If I may have a count of 5 or 6, you may end up with 7, just depending on how fat you left your bird, okay? And then the distance between here and here, I'm splitting. And again, I keep all the same direction. I don't know if you see that well. I'm coming in here. And then these spiral around. They piggyback off each one. Okay? So everything I've done here so far, I want you to copy over here. But so I'm going to give you that job to do after we get done this video. I'll let you go on and do that. But in the meantime, we're going to have to start relieving some of these. So I'm going to go to my wood burner. And again, this is an Optima pen, and I like this a lot. And I'm going to come in here, and now I'm going to start actually lifting feathers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, and what you don't see is I'm putting my Optivisor on, which is a magnifier, and it's helpful if you ever need any. I carry them, and I have different types with lights and everything else that help you. So I use them to really see, even though, you know, you're seeing it okay, I would hope, on the screen here. It's very helpful to have the magnifier in there. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to burn. First I do the arc of the top feather here, and I come around and I pull in. Then I do the second one, and so on. And what you do is you take your time, and then for some of you, you may want to come this way, but I still like to go this way. Coming around here and joining up, and then I'll do another one. In fact, what I'll do is a bunch of them in this direction, stop short of the turn. Right here, and here, and then I'll get my arcs. So I like to have a continuous burn if I can. So this is one way of doing it, but there's, if you're real steady, you can spin that and run it right down. All depends on, you know, your patience and everything else, and your talent. And I could still do it, but I've done it that way. So that's what I want burned in, okay? And then I'm going to ask you to get this grouping and burn it in too, okay? Also, I'm going to have you come in, come around, and do the same thing. Like that. And then you're going to do all of this that we just penciled in. I'm going to ask you to burn that in. And at the same time, I also want you to draw these over here. And you got the exact same thing happening over on this side to this side. See the direction going that way? You have it going this way. So I'm going to let you go ahead and do that. And I hope I'm not leaving you out in a lurch here. But what I want to try to do is get so much time in for the video, and I could be here burning all day, but what we want to do is lift these. We're not going to burn these yet. We actually have to lift them. So I'm going to show you that on the next video. And you're duplicating the same thing on the other side, and I hope you got something out of this one, and we're going to keep marching on. And if you really like what I've done, give me a thumbs up. And also, if you would subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that too. And we are going to, after you pencil, after you get this side done over here on a pencil, then you're doing the same thing. You're burning all of these in just the way I have them here. And then what we're going to try to do is lift them on the next video. And then here's one that I've already went ahead and did some of the burning. I have two of them going here. And this is all burnt in here. This is lifted already. So is this. We're going to lift it all. And you can see where this side lays over on top of that side. And I will show you how to do that too. But this is all lifted. Every one of these feathers from here back are raised. And then they look like they lay right on top of there. And they really will look good when you get done. So we'll see you on the next video. And if you ever need any products, just give me a holler. I have my email address in the comments section. So just give me a holler, and I'll try to help you wherever I can or provide you with information. And most of the stuff I have, but I could tell you other places to go. But that's what I'd like you to do. So see you on the next video, and I thank you very much, and take care.